Well, hello on this Saturday of our Holy Week, and we're excited to be able to share with you a little bit about this day that a lot of times we don't really recognize for the significance that it has, but it does mean a lot. And we find that on this Saturday in Matthew chapter 27, verses 62 to 66 is the only thing we really have in the Gospels that's dealing with this day. And it is the chief priests that they are concerned that Jesus told them that on the third day I will rise again. And so their concern is to go before Pilate and ask Pilate to allow them to put guards at the tomb, to seal the tomb closed, so that there would be no chance at all that Jesus would rise from the dead, or that his body would even be stolen, as the fear was, and as the story is going to be made up that's going to come out. And so we find this amazing day that has significance to us, not just for what we find in the Gospels, but also a significance of hope that comes. And one of the beliefs that we have is that during this day that Jesus fully died. He understood the humanity of death as well. And he also understood what it is to be victorious over death. Revelation chapter 1 tells us that in verse 18, we find in Revelation chapter 1 that he says they told in the end time there will be, Revelation chapter 1 verse 18, he says, in the living one, I am the living one. I was dead, but look, I am alive forever and ever. And he says, and I hold the keys to death and Hades. Early in Revelation chapter 1, he makes the statement. And whenever he introduces himself, as you're seeing John give of him, it says, grace and peace to you from the one who is, who was, and who is coming, from the seven spirits before his throne, and from Jesus Christ, the faithful witness, the firstborn from the dead, the firstborn from the dead, and the ruler and the kings of the earth. He has control. And so we find from this that he carries the keys to death and Hades. There's victory in this Saturday. The other thing that we find that we don't think about as much about Saturday of Holy Week is that if you think from Genesis and the creation, and on the seventh day, he rested. Now, one of the things for us to remember is that we as Christians worship on the first day of the week because of the resurrection of Christ. But the Jews rested on the seventh day, the Sabbath day. It was a day of rest. And so the death of Christ, the work of God, there was rest. And then Sunday is coming. We celebrate the victory of Christ. But today, would you rest in the hope that you have in him? So let's rest today in our Savior. And let's get ready to worship him tomorrow. With our churches here across the world, let's encounter the Savior with hope, with expectation that we know him. Have a wonderful Saturday.